a young, talented artist in Samburu. They should be able to log into a portal and say, I am here, look at me, assess me, okay? Or some brilliant talent in Msambweni telling you, come look at me. But they should be able to have a way to talk to us. Artists that are churning out fine art, they should be able to have a portal where they can upload their production and say, here it is, any buyer out there. So I would be proposing the establishment of a portal that would work very much along the lines of the Amazons and the eBays and the Alibabas of this world, to make sure that the artistic and sporting talent can be portaled for our young people and our young talent, our talented people, to be able to take full advantage of the digital space. And it can be done. You drive down Ngong Road and you see Jogoo Road. It's amazing, whether it's furniture or pieces of art. It's incredible. But they struggle to market these pieces. We will provide a portal where they can market these pieces and where we can purchase these pieces. And we should also be able to sit in cabinet and ask government. Government is a key driver of any economic sector. Government should buy stuff from these young people. Government should make it a policy that all the nice paintings, like the paintings I see around this hall and the pieces of art, we should be able to see them in every government office, in every parastatal office. And there should be a place where government can actually get these things directly from the artists, in a way where we age out the usurious middlemen who suck the blood literally out of our young people. Mheshimiwa Mule, I couldn't agree with you more on cleaning up the space around our federations. And you know, Mheshimiwa, yes, a lot of our federations operate within a framework of the international legal space. FIFA has statutes. The World Athletics Federation has statutes. FINA in swimming has statutes. But these statutes have to be in sync with our domestic legislation. And we must make sure that this is done, so that if corruption is corruption, we must be able to call it out, and we must be able to take action without our sports people suffering. So this is an area which, Honorable Mule, I would be very happy to work with the House. One area where we didn't do very well with the Sports Act, it is in terms of sanctions. Sanctioning federations, sanctioning individuals when they go contrary, or when they act again contrary to the law. And so they keep on running to the international space. So we need to clean up that, and definitely something I would be interested in. Honorable Ferdinand, I know what you're talking about. I feel you. I have played football at a rudimental level. Mr. Chairman, actually, at one time, I was the lead striker for Bunge FC. I don't know whether my record for most number of goals scored for Bunge FC has been broken yet. So I'm very
such record is kept here.
Okay. Now that record does exist, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, that one was broken by Kipchumba Murkomen.
Was it? It has not been communicated officially. But Mr. Chairman, that with a light touch, that I have also been an official of one of the clubs that you mentioned, and I'm very keen to see, when we talk about developing community or grassroots football, we must connect it to what we call our community clubs, our community clubs. And so we have to develop these community clubs at all levels. At the national level, talking of teams with real national and international pedigree, like Gor Mahia, like FC Leopards, and other clubs that really represent spirits of their local areas. We have to see how we can support these clubs. And one of the things we are going to do very strongly is to strengthen sponsorship. It is sad that a partner like SuperSport left the local sporting scene, yet it used to play a very significant role in terms of even just marketing our players by airing our live games. When I was minister, I traveled all the way to South Africa to make arrangements in that space with SuperSport. I would want SuperSport to come back. I would want other partners to strengthen that space in terms of sponsorship and exposure. But most importantly, we must put money in our football. Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, it is an area which I will be very committed to if you find me worthy to serve in this ministry. Mheshimiwa Pkosing, if you had a passion meter here, you would actually find that I'm 100% passionate about coming to this ministry. And I'm highly motivated to serve in this ministry. It is a ministry where I have worked previously. And those of us who have had the privilege of serving in government, you serve where you are assigned by the appointing authority with similar passion. And so the current cabinet secretary in charge of sports started off as cabinet secretary for foreign affairs and moved to education and has finished her tour of duty at the Ministry of Sports. That is just how the ball rolls. And you roll with the ball, and you serve your nation with passion and motivation where you are assigned. During campaigns, everybody played different roles. There are those who played security roles. I don't think they're going to be required to run security in this country. There are those who played communication roles. They may not necessarily end up running communication. We played our role during the campaigns, and in the spirit of collective responsibility, we'll continue working together. But yes, I'm highly motivated to serve in this docket. Honorable Murungara, let me, when you talk about the youth of Kenya and jobs, Mr. Chairman, the youth of Kenya are disillusioned. They're dispirited. They feel disenfranchised. And it is not accidental that in the last elections, the largest portion of Kenyans who did not turn up to vote were actually Kenyan youth, because they just feel disconnected from the, what you can call the mainstream economy of this country. We have to give the youth of this country fresh hope. And we have to start by putting in place policies and measures that can enable them to have a dignified existence. And so if you have young people who are being absorbed through the Ajira program, for instance, we have a program in this country called the Ajira program. There must be a way where after you have played a role in the Ajira program, government somehow mainstreams you into the system. As I talk to you now, Mheshimiwa Murungara, 1,300 young people are engaged at the judiciary, doing transcription, doing scanning, basically helping in the digital operations of the judiciary under the Ajira program. There must be a way where these 1,300 young people, and there are young people who have gone to school well, there must be a way where they can be absorbed. And so I am going to be the #1 champion for young people to be integrated in the mainstream economy, and to make sure that those who want to live off their talent, they live off their talent with dignity. And we can do this by investing in infrastructure, helping with marketing, opening avenues for them to earn a dignified living, and protecting them in terms of protecting their intellectual property and making sure that what they're bringing to the table is recognized. Be assured of my full support and availability. And my policy would be that nothing for young people without them. And so a lot of the things we want to do, we want young people to be at the center of it, driving it, whether it's the Youth Fund, whether the National Youth Council, whether the National Employment Authority. You want to see young people fully engaged in these programs for them. Mheshimiwa Rehab, empowering young people to pursue sports as an industry, as a formal engagement, I am with you 100%. And that is why I'm talking of innovations like eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, where we provide a space where young people can share their creativity, they can share their talent, but also make it clear to federations in this country that these young people do not exist to just service their interests. So the way they operate must be in a manner that serves the best interests of these sports people. And if for nothing else, at the end of the Kenya Kwanza government, and I know His Excellency President William Ruto is very passionate about this, we should have elevated sports and the arts into a roaring industry and a mega employer of our young people. Mheshimiwa Naisula, stadia have stalled all over the place. Camarine, I think, is stalled at just about 40%, and many others all over the place. And you're right, there is definitely no value for money in a lot of these places. And the sad thing also is that we are still building stadia in the old mold. A stadia, we are still thinking that a stadia is a terrace, a green pitch in the middle, and some track around. No, the world moved on. Stadia now are integrated facilities. Stadia have theater. Stadia have recording studios. Stadia it's an integrated space where sports people and artists can do so much more than just kicking a ball on the green patch or running around the track. And so one of the things that we must do also is to revisit even the design of our stadia. And we must turn all our stadia must be turned into centers of excellence so that we have activities going on there continuously. I mentioned Clairefontaine, which is run by the French football, but there are also clubs. When you go to Barcelona, they run a great academy called La Masia, where they churn out great talent like Messi, who was discovered at the age of 6, 7. Who is discovering talent in this country at age 6, age 7? And where would these talents be discovered? We must make this the spaces where we can spot this talent and grow this talent so that we can be able to compete with the rest of the world. And it is an area where I'm going to be available. We will assess the